You ever notice how you can't just sit still anymore? Even when everything around you is quiet, your mind isn't. It keeps searching for something, something to check, something to think about, something to fix. And if there's nothing there, it creates something. Most people look at that and assume something is wrong with them. They think they're distracted, unfocused, maybe even addicted to their phone or their thoughts. But that's not really what's happening. The truth is, your brain isn't broken. It's addicted, but not in the way you think. It's not addicted to your phone or social media or even overthinking. It's addicted to something much deeper. And once you understand that, everything starts to shift. Your brain is addicted to anticipation. Psychology shows that dopamine isn't just released when you experience something rewarding. It's released when you think you might. That feeling of maybe is what pulls you in. That's why you keep checking your phone, even when you know there's probably nothing new. It's not the message you're chasing. It's the possibility of it. Maybe they replied. Maybe something interesting happened. Maybe something changed. That small sense of uncertainty is enough to keep your brain hooked. But here's the part most people miss. That same system is also what makes you curious. It's what pushes you to explore, to learn, to imagine better outcomes. You're not weak for feeling pulled by that. You're wired to look ahead, to search for what could be. Your brain is also addicted to solving things. Even when there's nothing to solve, you replay conversations, analyze situations, question your own actions, not because you enjoy it, but because your brain is trying to reduce uncertainty. Research shows the mind is uncomfortable with things it can't fully understand. So it tries to fill in the gaps. It tries to find answers, even when there aren't any. That's why thinking harder doesn't always bring clarity. It often just creates more noise. But this isn't all negative. This is the same system that makes you self-aware. It's what allows you to reflect, to grow, to see patterns that other people miss. That depth you have, that tendency to think a little more, that's not a flaw. That's awareness. Your brain is also drawn to what's familiar. Even if it doesn't feel good, you might notice yourself falling into the same thought patterns again and again. The same doubts, the same worries, the same emotional loops. It's not because you want to feel that way. It's because your brain recognizes it, and recognition feels safe. Research indicates that the brain prefers what it knows over what it doesn't, even if what it knows is stressful. So it repeats those patterns, not to hurt you, but to keep you in something predictable. But here's the shift. If your brain can learn patterns that keep you stuck, it can also learn patterns that move you forward. The same system that traps you can also free you. Then there's stimulation. Your brain has become used to constant input. Scrolling, tapping, switching, consuming. Everything is fast, immediate, and always available. Over time, your brain adapts to that speed. So when things slow down, when there's silence, when there's nothing happening, it feels uncomfortable. That's why doing nothing feels so difficult. It's not because you're lazy or lacking discipline. It's because your brain has been trained to expect constant engagement. But here's the powerful part. If your brain can adapt to chaos, it can also adapt to calm. It just takes time and a little patience. And finally, your brain is addicted to control, or at least the feeling of it. Thinking more feels like control. Planning everything feels like control. Analyzing every possible outcome feels like control. But most of the time, it's just your brain trying to protect you from uncertainty. Because uncertainty feels risky, even when it isn't. The truth is, no matter how much you think or plan, you'll never fully control everything, and trying to will only exhaust you. Real control comes from something different. It comes from being okay with not knowing, from trusting that you can handle whatever happens next, even if you can't predict it. When you start to see all of this clearly, something changes. You stop fighting your mind. You stop treating your thoughts like enemies that need to be fixed. Instead, you begin to understand them, and that understanding creates space. Space between you and your thought, space between the urge and your reaction. And in that space, you finally have a choice. You don't have to follow every thought. You don't have to believe every fear. You can pause, step back, and decide what actually deserves your attention. So if you've been feeling stuck in your own head, if your mind feels like it never slows down, remember this. You're not broken, and you're not falling behind. Your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. It's just trying a little too hard to protect And if this made you pause for a second, or made something click in your head, then stick around, because this channel is all about understanding your mind in a way that actually helps you live better. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.